Hello everyone, Steve Lentz here with the Inside Wire. It is August 30th, 2016. Presented material is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as personalized financial advice. Welcome everyone. Have some exciting news around OptionVue here. We have OptionVue 8 that just came out, and I wanted to take this opportunity to walk you through some of the features and just show you what it's all about. It's very exciting and it's a whole new look. Let's go take a peek. But before that, I want to just show you the, these are the release notes. And certainly you can access this from within the program, and we'll go through that. But I wanted to reference these and just kind of encourage you to go ahead and go through this, because when you install OptionVue 8, there's a few things you need to know going into it. First, at the top, it says here, OptionVue 8 will be installed in a new directory on your computer, OptionVue 8, okay, in the C drive. And a new icon will be created on your desktop for this version. It will transfer all your files and data from 7 to 8. However, it will not delete the old OptionVue 7 directory, okay, or remove the icon. So those are going to remain still. This is so clients can run either version they want at first. Once you become comfortable and are confident all your files have been transferred correctly, you can delete the old OptionVue 7 folder and icon, okay? Just wanted to make that clear. Also, we have Jim Graham with us here, and he's the Chief Operating Officer of OptionVue Systems, and he's available to help out with any of the tougher questions you guys might have. All right. Here we go. Let's just go through this here. There's one part I really wanted to make sure we get, and that is the part about double-clicking. You'll find that there's a feature there that we need to double-click instead of single, and it's important that we have that down. Okay, so item 1 here. The program's main menu was replaced by a ribbon-style menu. We'll get to that. All right, and let me look at this. All right, and here's the double-click part. Okay. When you select a tab other than Home and then click to select one of the items, the program automatically reverts to Home after a few seconds. Okay, now this becomes, for me, it kind of got a little disconcerting, okay, but because then I figured I just wanted to stay where I clicked. But what you can do is, if you wish the menu to stay, just double-click on the tab rather than single-clicking it. So I wanted to make sure that that's very clear. Okay, let's go over to OptionVue 8 and take a peek. Share the screen. Okay, cancel that. Meeting is clicking. I'm going to select full screen. All right, and there we go. Are we there? Bingo, there we go. All right. Let me pull down the chat feature so I can see you guys chat if you want. All right. Okay, so one thing you'll notice is that we have, and I'm going to windowize the quotes display here, just right at the beginning. Okay, and let's bring in my data coming in. All right, market's kind of holding steady from what, update later, good grief. All right. So what do you think? What do you see that's different? Quite a bit here, right? Okay, so look up above, and you'll see the menus are all completely different. And this is the primary difference between OptionVue 7 and OptionVue 8. All right, I just wanted to point out to you that we have File, Home, Tools, Data, Settings, and Help. Notice on the far right, you'll notice that several of these icons that used to be here have now disappeared and have been wrapped up into these various menu items over here on the top left. So we'll just go through these one at a time. Let's click on File. And when you go to File, you'll see that here are the print items and the file items that you would normally have accessed a little bit differently before. When you go to File Open, this takes you to the menu where you can then navigate through and see your data files by default. Of course, you can click back to OptionVue 8 and go through the other folders as well, but it's in this way. That's what File Open means. It takes you straight there. By the way, did you see what happened here? I clicked on, let me just do that again. I just clicked on File once. And after a few seconds, it's going to click on, it's going to revert back to Home. You'll see it intermittently do that after a period of time. The menu will go back to Home, and I don't want to just, you'll see, I'll just make sure I single click every time, and you'll see it pop back over here. Okay, so this is the File menu with the print reports, print setup, etc. Let's go to Home now. All right, this is where we contain much of the menu that we had before in the chart in the ribbon above, and you know, matrix, price chart, Vulti, etc. So here we're on SPX. We can click to go to the matrix, and the matrix is going to look the same. All right, everything's the same there. Okay, well, we did change this. We have a side-by-side button right there, and so there's a little bit different there, but let's close that, and then we go to price chart, Vulti chart. Price chart brings up the price chart, of course. The volatility chart, we'll add that. All right, then we have the 4 portfolio buttons that we're normally used to: info, log, trade log, status, and reports. The icons are a little bit different, and now we're calling it the trade log and not the transaction log. And then, of course, we have our drop-down menu of all the accounts we have going on. Then we come to Trade Finder, Survey, and OpScan. All this should be very familiar to you power users. I didn't get an additional icon. I'm not sure what icon you're talking about. Joe, are you talking about the matrix where you have the side-by-side feature? Oh, Joe, you mean when you installed it, you're saying you did not get an additional OptionVue 8 icon? That's what he's talking about, Jim. Because apparently there was no extra OptionVue 8 icon added in that case. Interesting. I don't have an answer for that. That's a tech question. But you know what you can do, I believe, is just go to your Start button, navigate over to the program, and then right-click, and then it'll say Create Shortcut. Boom, and then you can do that. That's my recollection as to how you can easily add one. You can right-click on your desktop and create one, or call our tech. Oh, you can just go to the desktop and create an icon. Perfect. I've never done that. It's always come up automatically when I install various programs. Okay. So, what do you see on the far right here? Look at this. We have BackTraitor. It's built into the top line there. So even if we click on File, Home, BackTraitor is always resident at the top of the screen. All right. Now, how do we activate it? Well, you can, let me see here. You just click that little button there, and that takes you back to the previous close. That little button previous. Let me see if I click that. All right. So when you open the program, it looks like this. And to bring in last night's close, you enter BackTraitor on previous trading day. I click that button there, or I can click the calendar and navigate to a date that I may want. Okay, like the 29th. Boom, there we go. Now when I do that, it's automatically going to kick in and then bring in the data as of last night's close that you can see here. Okay? And then you just use BackTraitor as you normally are used to using it. Let me click on this. Okay, very good. Now let's go to Tools. Going to Tools, this is where we have built in some of the items that you would have seen in the top right of the screen. You know, next to the green ball over here, we've now put in under the Tools portion. OpScan Reports takes you right to your OpScan Report screen. Look at this. I've saved a few over the last month. No, it goes back longer than that. Did you see how we went back to Home right there? Boom. I was on Tools, and it went back to Home. And I was assuming I was going to come back and talk to you guys about what was in Tools, but it reverted back to Home. So now how do I make sure it sticks on Tools? I'm going to double-click on Tools, click, and now it's not going to pop back over to Home. It's going to stick there. Yates Break Search. Some of you may not be familiar with that, but that is a feature that will scan all the updated price charts looking for a particular bearish pattern that Len Yates came up with probably, gosh, I'd say about 10 years ago at least. He came up with this little algorithm on stocks and assets that had broken down and had retraced and were curling over on the bearish side. And he started out by writing that program for himself because he believed in the in that particular pattern. And you can see that pattern is kind of replicated if you know right there, where you have a big down move, a little retracement, and then it curls over, getting ready to go down again. Boom, you'll get a report that brings out those. So there's the original search algorithm. He had an algorithm for looking for topping stocks, and then he built in a trend line break pattern as well. All right, also we can import, for those of you with the earnings module, this is where you would do your earnings searches and everything. We can import. Right, works in real-time mode, not available in BackTraitor mode. That's right, I have to turn BackTraitor off. I turn BackTraitor off, I go to import earnings. Here's my earnings play candidates. I'm going to leave those default settings alone and hit go. All right, blow this up a bit, come back. And what it did is it filled in the various earnings items down here, the prime movers, the prime non-movers, the earnings pairs, echoes, and runners. It filled all those in that earnings import. You have to have the earnings module, though, to run that. Then list companies announcing earnings soon. This is the earnings search. This is one that we used to have a button in the top right corner, but now it's available under Tools. This is where you would do this. And boy, did you see how fast that came up? That was rather impressive. Just go to 1 day. Look how fast that is. Good grief. Okay, so some of you that are into earnings, you're very familiar with this. Expire options. Now we get into, if we're going to go through our accounts and everything, we would do that here. Preparing to expire all options that expire within the next day. Okay, we're going to cancel. We don't want it to walk through that. I have a lot of accounts. Yikes. Set alerts. Schedule various events. This is all from the previous program, but was highlighted over in the top right corner, brought over under Tools. Assess accounts. If you have a lot of accounts like I do, you want to be careful about hitting that because it'll take a while. We have our probability calculator tool, and then view the event log. All right, let's go to data now. Okay, now we already have BackTraitor set up, but you know what? Well, let's start at the left. Com settings. Okay, this is where we have various, your logon ID and password. And sometimes when you call in support, they'll want to go and take a look at, what NetView IP address you're using and so forth. Boy, I didn't see that. Doggone it, I didn't left click twice under Tools or Data. Click, now it's not going to go back to Home. Live data. Okay, this takes us to the live data source, quote view in this case with all our settings. BackTraitor, now there are some BackTraitor features that you need to be able to run, and this brings up the processes to go through and, let's see, where is this? BackTraitor, live data, BackTraitor, no. Well, nothing's happening when I click BackTraitor. The question is where do I go to go through update preset files? Run out, collect. Oh, there it is, right there. Collect BackTraitor data. See that? Let me just try something. Tools, data. Okay, good. Data brings up these items here as well. Now, I wonder, Jim, if you know, why is this BackTraitor feature here if we already have it over here and we already have the collect BackTraitor data item where it allows us to go through and create those BackTraitor files and fill those in. I'm just kind of curious. Boy, I didn't click on double click. I'm just curious what that BackTraitor button does. Doesn't seem to have a function currently. Maybe it's related to this over here, but in any case, backup key files. That's the backup feature that we used to have embedded in our menu, but here it's just easily under data to backup. You would have to then set up your folders and then do your backups. And then let's go to settings. Click on settings. Okay. Now, remember before we had a whole series of menu items previous, a lot different than this. And if you'll notice, this is kind of like the Word or any kind of Microsoft feature, Microsoft program like Word or Excel or PowerPoint, where you have this kind of a menu, and this is kind of what it's patterned after, even with the icons now. Icons seem to be coming back with the newest versions of the Microsoft tools or Microsoft Office features, and this is kind of consistent with that layout. So we have settings, we have our preferences, all right, for BackTraitor, and look at this. This is completely different. Preferences for BackTraitor, storing it to the different files. Colors, all the preferences just simply under the settings screen. Folders. This is entirely different. Your settings on volatility chart. I like mine to look back at 1 year to get my percentile rankings. You can change that on yours if you want. It might be set to something else. Quotes display. What happens when you double click? So this is entirely different, and I just encourage you to go ahead and experiment with that. Going through here's the models. All right. So let's go back up to double click on settings so it doesn't go back to home. Default models. That's our screen we're very familiar with. Default matrix format. Remember that? Okay, where we can go to our default matrix format and set that all up. Reset definitions. One asset files were reset. Interesting, okay. Let's see, one asset files. Interesting. I have to get more familiar with reset definitions. It shows one file to do that. Interest rates, of course. This is where we set these, and these are automatically imported from, every day, every time you open your program in the morning, your daily files get updated, and this all gets updated as well. And then the holidays. Okay, these are the holidays right there. Click on there, you go. Perfect. Okay, let's go to help now. Look at all this under the helps section. There's various help documents, the release notes I just showed you. You can come in and check for an upgrade, and it'll go and see if there's an upgrade available for you. The tutorial video website, it'll take you to automatically. Going to the Management Center, maybe to manage your data settings. Educational resources will take you to the Discover Options website. You can access tech support by these 3 ways right here. Clicking on that, it'll take you to the, look at that, I didn't click, double click again. Click, click. There you go. Remote support. Okay, when you call in and you need to use support, maybe Dave will have you click on remote support there and link in with you. Communications diagnostics. Okay, that's something that support might want to look at while they're on the phone with you. Diagnostic info, whole nother set of information for your support call. Send files to tech support. All this is very complete now and laid out in a much more modern format. So we're very excited about this. Any other things that we can, let's go back to those release notes now. Let me do that. Let me click on release notes. Let's just go down here and take a look. Anything else we need to be aware of? Okay, and so here's an item 2 here. Talks about having that BackTraitor box always up at the top. All right. If you want that thing to disappear, you can go through the steps as is described right here. Something to take a look at for those of you that never use BackTraitor and you want it to just disappear. Understood. Let's see, something about color. Here's something important. A new button in the upper left corner of the quotes display opens the drop-down menu, which contains all of the items that were previously under Edit. Remember Edit Lookup? Okay, let's go look at this. Because there is no more Edit item there. Remember that file, Edit View? Okay, so now where do you go to get View Lookup? Okay, you have to click on this little box up here in the top left. This takes you to everything related to the quotes display, all right, including lookup. Look up a symbol. Okay, you want to look up a symbol, it takes you to the lookup menu. Okay, there you go. All right, back up here. What else we got here? Insert a row. You would just highlight there, click Insert Row if you want to go the long way, or you can just hit the Insert button on your keyboard and away you go. What else on here is fun? Delete, paste in symbols, export data and everything. Okay, let's go back to the, what else we got here? Okay, if a window ever goes out of sight beneath another window, simply right-click the main title bar. If a window ever goes out of sight beneath another window, simply right-click OptionVue's main title bar or left-click the little program icon in the upper left corner. Okay, so if you end up losing something behind another window, what? Oh, Jim alerted. Wow, look at all this. My chat screen has been out of date here. So now let me look at what Jim's been writing. I've been looking over there going, why isn't anyone writing anything? When you click the BackTraitor icon, the box appeared on the toolbar. Okay? Depends on your settings. Preferences BackTraitor. You can choose not to show the BackTraitor box all the time. Then you need that icon to launch it. Reset definitions makes it like you have never opened it that day. Instead of having to delete it, use mostly by tech. Okay. So remember that. Reset definitions under, let's see, reset definitions, settings. Yeah, don't click that. That's used mostly by tech, okay? Joe says, I missed the window choice so I can go out of several matrices. How do I do this now? That feature is still there. Click on the icon in the upper left of the title bar, or right-click anywhere on the top title bar. Okay? Perfect. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Yeah, most of the change, all the changes are. Take a look at the menu. Okay. All right. Any more questions, Joe? Anyone have more questions at this point? Because this is pretty much it. OptionVue 8 is a huge change in the form of the menu. All of the modeling, all of the other advanced features, graphic analysis, you know, the heart and guts are exactly the same. It's just that the menu overlay is different at this point. Now, oh, click on the left click. Oh. Oh, okay. All right, so Jim just came into my office. Joe says, no more for me, no more changes. All right, so look. Oh, also here too in the quotes display. Ah, right here. Okay. Also here at the quotes display. No, up here. Okay. So folks, here's something important. Let me even draw this. Right here is an important menu button, and also up here, way up at the top, the icon in the top left there, you see that? Okay, those are very important because then when you click those, I'm trying to get rid of my, there we go. When you click that, this brings up all the windows that you have open, and you can find it if you can't happen to find it on the screen. It'll be here. Also in the quotes display, again, I said you have that menu button as well. So those are the two main buttons that have hidden menu items under them, right there on the top left logo, and on the top left on the quotes display, the menu button right there. Okay. Awesome. Well, this is a big step for us. Let me go back here. There we go. And sharing. Click back here. Back here. All right. This looks good. And if you close your quotes display, you need that top menu to bring it back. Yep. Yeah. If you end up closing your quotes display, okay, you just go to the top left menu button to bring it back again. That's something real simple. Okay, folks, this has been a nice little 30-minute walkthrough of the features changed in OptionVue 8. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you find them very beneficial. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye-bye.